Hey, what up, pimps? It's your boy Brisk, and this is my first episode of any podcast ever. Today I'm joined by Caden.
What am I supposed to say?
Introduce yourself.
I play video games.
I'm also joined by Jacob.
Laundry basket.
Alright, cool. And Dakota, my boy, over here.
Hey, that's me. I may be retarded.
Okay, cool.
We're pretty sure he's on the spectrum.
Yeah.
That's a quality way to start the podcast.
I'm pretty sure that most of us are on the spectrum.
Honestly, might be.
Pretty sure we all have brain damage from the song that Chris is supposed to release.
Okay.
Yo, can we talk about... Oh, dude, shut up. Okay. Fucking cat.
We need to talk about Vodka Cat.
This fucking cat, bro.
Bro, fuck cats. I'm
Are you
joking.
saying your cat behind me, Chris?
Wait a second, Chris. You can't say that.
Oh, God.
You're gonna have to censor this podcast.
You can't say that.
Demonetized already.
Did we curse in the first 30 seconds?
Probably.
Yeah, I think so.
You said autism. Autism is not a curse, and if it is, that's racist or something. I don't know.
I mean, it is a curse on the mind.
What are you doing?
What the fuck? Autism is a
Cats.
curse on the mind, Nigby
What about
2019.
cats?
But speaking about cats, let's talk about the Cats movie.
Oh,
Ooh,
no.
delicious.
Oh, bad.
I'd rather watch Sonic.
It's like the Sonic movie had sex with a weird fucking fetish porno.
Oh,
Dude,
sure,
why couldn't
yeah.
they just animate it? Like,
Yeah, there's actually talk about it animating it. It actually looked kind of cool, to be honest. Like, I've never even heard of Cats, seen it.
me either.
And I have a lot of friends that are into that crap for some reason, and they just brought it up.
Dude, it's so bad. It's so bad.
Do you think even
Honestly
furries?
horrifying.
Do you think even
No,
furries
yeah,
like hate it?
The furries are hating on it.
It's yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it looks horrible.
It looks terrible.
Hard
Hard pass.
I don't understand why people just have to like make movies shitty. Like there should be zero bad movies. There's enough ideas in the
There's not
world
enough money in that.
with like the budgets that these movies have. That none of them should be horrible. It's just outrage.
Exactly.
Makes more
Who
money.
was watching anime in the background?
Oh, he's not. That's probably Piper screaming.
Yeah,
It is
Piper
definitely- it's
screaming.
Piper screaming. Jesus Christ.
IT Gator and R6.
damn.
Nice.
She
High
got
five.
down, so I killed her.
No weakness. You gotta tell her the rule.
What's the rule?
Our rule is that if somebody goes down, you have to be put down because there's no place on this team for weaklings.
Oh.
Are you guys playing a
Yeah.
video game currently?
No,
I'm not.
Yes.
Well, I am, sorry. And I got kicked out of the party, so yeah, I'm
I
just
want
gonna leave after this.
Facebook.
Oh, she kicked us both. I didn't even do anything.
This is so sad, guys. Can we get an F in the chat? Oh shit, we're not
Can we get
live.
an F?
We're not live, guys.
Wow, what do you mean we're not live?
Oh yeah, I should probably address that. The requirements for live streaming on YouTube for mobile is like a bunch of subscribers or something. I don't know, but
I have like 1 million of those.
you have
Caden, shut up.
do you have 1 million subscribers, Caden? This is crazy.
Dude, we literally went to one of your Red Dead streams and we were the only viewers.
Well, yeah, that was a thing that happened. But I have
And then you
a video,
left.
Then I have a video at 22,000 views, so then what?
What do you mean?
Where are all the
I do.
subscribers though, dude?
I mean, I bought a Pumpkin Supercard. What do I do? Got 22k views a year ago.
Damn, dude. When
So were we not live?
He's got that internet clout.
we're not live. I'm just recording right now.
Oh,
Then,
okay.
of course, my second popular video, Renee Young Says the F Word, Extreme Rules 2019. 958 views, 11 likes.
PS4 servers down, rage. This is a classic.
PS4 server was down. I was pretty upset about that.
Yeah, you ever notice that happens like quite a bit for something really large?
Yeah.
It only happened to me the one time.
That happens quite a few times.
Yeah, I actually wonder why that stuff happens.
I don't know.
Because they're in Japan.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it's like
The
maintenance
Japs.
reasons.
You ever think, here's a question. You ever think LSD is, like, legal over there?
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what stuff they breathe over there.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that's, like, exactly what they do.
That's why there's all those neon lights.
Because how do you think they come up with all the anime?
I don't know, man.
Like, just read JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about.
You say something about Bobo's Bizarre Adventure?
Yeah.
Dude, JoJo is good. I've never watched it, but it's good.
So you guys want a cheeseburger in a can?
It's not. It's pretty good.
So what was the other thing we were going to talk about?
Cheeseburger in a can.
One of the streamers that had beef on
Alinity?
what? Yeah, her.
Mm-hmm.
I learned how she just fucking threw a cat.
Fucking tossed her cat.
She yeeted that cat.
Wait, what?
She did.
She yeeted that cat during a Call of Duty match.
Yeah, she just threw her cat.
It's fucking crazy, dude.
And then spit vodka in its mouth.
Ooh, dang. That's like... holy crap.
Oh yeah, can we talk about how Twitch, the IRL section of Twitch, is literally just porn?
Mm.
Oh,
It's literally just all soft porn.
That time to download Twitch.
Isn't it, isn't there... shit, what was it? The game that Valve made, the card game that they made? I heard this
Magic
on
the Gathering.
another podcast. I'm gonna just bring it up. But
Did you just say magic?
But no, like,
Magic the
apparently there's a card game that Valve made, and apparently it's so, like, nobody liked it, and it's so unpopular that the only things people streaming it are, they're streaming porn. It's just they say they're streaming it.
Yeah, I heard about that, wasn't it? I don't remember what it was called, but it was just like, you go to that section, and it's all, like, porn, and they try to take it down, but there's too much of it. I don't remember how that was resolved. I don't think it is resolved, actually.
I hope it's not. So.
I hope it's not.
You can literally just go to porn.
There's free porn everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can literally go
Guys,
anywhere.
it's a joke, guys.
Can we also speak of the fact that Pornhub is literally a better streaming service than YouTube, and like it's a better streaming service than YouTube?
Yeah,
No,
pretty
I
much.
have to disagree. There's better sites than that one.
No, but YouTube is like really open with their users and just like so. It's like a meme. It's like a meme to be like super friendly with their users for some reason. But YouTube literally tells the users nothing. Like the people producing money for them, it's like, oh, you get banned.
Yeah.
And I hate that. So yeah, YouTube kind of sucks. Like,
What's up, guys?
bad.
It's your boy Mumkey Jones here.
Oh, him?
Oh.
Have you guys heard what he's up to recently?
No,
No, but I want to know.
Oh shit. Okay, so alright, here's some good juicy current events. Nobody cares about this though. I think everybody's like his popularity is like diminished ever since he was banned. Like
Yeah.
only
Of course it would. He can't produce videos anymore.
Yeah.
And so he has to go to another website. And that's what he...
Isn't that what happened in Jameski as well?
No, Jameski's fine. He
I know he got back, but he was getting copyrighted on literally all of his videos.
Oh, yeah. It happens a lot. Like,
Yeah.
companies will just say, like, oh, that video is mine. And, like, they'll false copyright it. And then they'll, like, hold it for a month when it's prime and take all the money.
And then there's like a loophole you can do where
Yeah, YouTube doesn't intervene. So basically, you can file a claim, but the people who filed the claim get to say if the claim is good or not. Like they'll be able to say yes or no to the claim, and then they can just say no and get your money no matter what you do.
Yeah,
Jokes on them, I don't make money.
It's stupid. Like if it's false, all the money should be withheld and then given to the user. But if it's true, the video should only be taken down, but all the views should be going to them. But no, it's sort of in that time, all that money goes to them. It's so stupid, and I don't know how I think this is. I don't know. It must be bringing in money somehow. I don't know, because literally so many people are complaining, and there's so much crap that is wrong with YouTube.
yeah.
And it's not even that. It's like, oh, they try to push the family-friendly stuff, instead of getting rid of the shit that really needs to get rid of, like, there's really fucked up shit on there.
Yeah. Well, I think the main problem with YouTube is that they don't talk to people. They don't tell people, like, why they make the decisions they do. And I think, for the most part, with, like, most of the issues that they have, it's really that they're trying not to get, like, sued. Like, a lot of what they're doing is questionable legally, especially with a lot of the copyright stuff. Like, I don't remember where I heard this, and I could be wrong, but I heard somewhere that the way YouTube works, they have to be super quiet about how they deal with copyright stuff, because they're only legally in the right because they can't say for sure whether or not content is being stolen online and, like, pirated. So if they reveal that they do know, because of their, like, algorithm or whatever, then, like, that's illegal pretty much, and so they can't really be open about that, and that's what I've heard.
Yeah. Not to mention, do you notice how they do anything for money? So if you ever look at, sometimes, you know, those ads, like, when you're like on an iPad or something, and your video isn't full screen, you'll see the list of the videos on the side. At the top, there will be an ad.
Yeah.
Well, for some reason, all the time, I see ads up there for, like, infinite V-Bucks, infinite money for a FIFA and all that. And the thing is, it's like the currencies you have to buy, and it's an ad for YouTube. And the thing is, doing that stuff and getting free currency that you have to pay for is illegal.
And they're scam websites as well.
Yeah.
They literally steal your information as well, and YouTube is promoting them.
And yeah, and sometimes it's videos. It's like some people are paying to have their videos, like, uploaded as ads, and so they're seen everywhere. And it's like, oh, come to this video. And sometimes I think it's really cool what ads can do. Like, for instance, League of Legends. I'm pretty sure it was Odd One Out. League of Legends went out to Odd One Out. I was like, hey, animate a video for us. We'll support your channel and all that, and we'll post it on YouTube for ads. And that was cool. But then YouTube come out and supports these scam sites that are strictly there to take your money and all that, and videos that straight up are showing you illegal activities. Yeah. And it's like, but it just, the thing is, I'll see it once or twice, and I won't see it for like a month, and I'll see it again, and I won't see it for. It's weird how they support illegal stuff like this.
Yeah, that is always really strange, and I don't really know, what the explanation is behind a lot of that stuff, but
I don't think anybody.
We were talking about Monkey Jones, though.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it's all right.
I just wanted to point out how YouTube is so scummy.
Yeah.
But let's continue on Monkey Jones. That's a really good topic.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very good example of YouTube being scummy. But then it gets into, like, more personal stuff with Monkey down the line recently. So, if you guys don't know, Monkey Jones was a sort of, like, edgy, like, he's basically he's basically what would happen to Filthy Frank if Filthy Frank was still making videos. Like, out of nowhere, his videos that he made on the mass shooter Elliot Rodger were all given community guideline strike for different reasons, including promoting violent acts, and it was like this takedown basically of Monkey Jones, because he got like I think 4 community guideline strikes in one day, and one of them was on a video that was privated, so it couldn't have been like, that had to have been like a manual review, because nobody could have reported that. It was a private video.
Yeah.
So it's been talked about a lot. Like, basically, he just got taken off the platform. Who knows why? It probably because they didn't want people talking about mass shooters on the platform. But, when you look at those videos, he's relentlessly mocking Elliot Rodger and, like, calling him like a loser, incel, whatever. He's not praising these violent acts. He's actually like belittling him for it, which I think is better than a lot of these documentaries about mass shooters that make them, they like glorify them and everything, and then there's like reenactments and shots of like Eric and Dylan at Columbine, where
those are.
Yeah, they're like in trench coats and the lighting's all fucking like scary. Like why why would you make a documentary like that where you glorify this mass shooting? I think making fun of a mass shooter is much better and much more entertaining, obviously.
Yes.
And, you know, he was basically unjustifiably banned from YouTube. And then people just stopped talking about him because, like, nothing happened. Like, there's nothing they can do. YouTube pretty much blacklisted him. He can't do anything. So he, like, as soon as he lost pretty much all of his following, he made another YouTube channel. And he's been doing videos and stuff like normal, but he just lost a huge chunk of his subscribers. But then recently he got into this controversy where he actually cheated on his girlfriend with someone who was a pedophile. They were like exchanging nudes with underage people.
Oh no! Oh, Jared, huh?
Yeah, and then for real, dude. And then when this came out that this was happening, his girlfriend left him, obviously, and then he got engaged to the girl he cheated on her with, who was a pedophile, and basically he pushed all of his friends away as well. So all his friends are like always clowning on him. Even his brother I see on Twitter like making memes about him being like a dickhead. So basically his life is just falling completely apart. He went from like being, you know, a really fast growing YouTube channel who had a lot of friends in the YouTube community, and he made really good content, honestly. He was a funny dude. And then he just went on to this downward spiral, I guess, into just a really fucked up state, basically. So that's the downfall of Monkey Jones, pretty much. And it's kind of sad to see.
Unfortunately, stuff like that happens to like a lot of people, where they just get attached to this person and just.
Yeah. He's just like he's mentally ill, like to the point where he's delusional to her wrongdoings. But recently they did like break up, and then he made another video, which I didn't watch all the way through, but it was actually quite recent. I think yesterday or today he uploaded it. And yeah, it's just fucked up though. I
think it says she's gone like 11 hours ago.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
11 hours ago?
Yeah. And there's so there's something, I'm looking at something called Kiwi Farm. It's a bunch of shit post idiots.
Yeah.
It says he cries for fake sympathy, but that isn't true because he straight up shows a tweet that says, "Sorry to everyone who's reached out to me who I haven't replied to, trying to keep off social media, and I have not ready to talk to people yet. I did a very bad thing, and I hurt people. The most important person in my life. I don't want to make excuses. I fucked up bad. I'm sorry." So he clearly isn't making, like he said. He just said he fucked up.
Yeah.
Of course, it's our choice to forgive him for what he's done, or just to ridicule him more for what he's done, or.
Yeah. I think it's just fucked up. I think it's just that his mental state has been declining since he lost everything.
Well, I say while we're on the topic of mental state, do we want to talk about that other thing that happened like a couple of weeks ago?
Are you talking about
Going off the grid?
No.
With,
Etika?
Etika, yeah. It was really something there. It was kind of like I don't really know what to really say about it per se.
I'll tell you one thing I don't like is a lot of people are going and blaming Keemstar for some reason, even though they were apparently pretty good friends.
No, that has nothing to do with anyone. It's no one's fault.
Well, of course, it's a lot of people. Because listen, I totally get. Of course, there were some signs that he was clearly not. Of course, there was some very big signs.
There was some very few. He was not well.
Well, of course, some people don't get that, because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of, like, kids. Kids are all over the internet nowadays, like 9-year-olds, and so they're probably not understanding what that stuff is. And of course, they're not always on the news reading everything, because they look at stuff like that.
Yeah. See, the main problem with the Etika situation is he had many people in his life who were trying to help him, like, constantly. And he even admitted that, like, he was pushing them away, basically, to the point where his mental illness, whatever was wrong with him, just, like, that he was just left with it. And there was nobody there to help him because he pushed them all away. And it's like a boy who cried wolf situation, because he had threatened suicide and everything so many times. And then that was like one of the things that he was really guilty about before he took his own life, was that nobody was going to believe him. And it's really sad to see, because, like, I watched Etika all the time, and obviously even if I didn't, like, I'd feel bad about the situation. But when you watch an entertainer for long enough, you start to feel like a more emotional connection to them, especially when they're a streamer and they just, like, sometimes late at night they just open up about stuff, and say a lot of relatable stuff. But Etika was just another victim of mental illness, and his situation was so unique that I don't know if anything could have really stopped it. Like,
yeah, because, like, he was mean. He was, like, joking about that stuff, like, when I die way in the future, which could have been some very much big hope. Like, when I die in the future, like, he meant down the line, bury me in front of YouTube playing, like, what was it, Anime Pussy?
Yeah, he said he wanted the song Anime Pussy to play at his funeral. But I don't know. I mean, it's those like memories of him joking around and stuff are really nice after he's gone, just to, like, cope with the fact that, like, oh, this guy's actually gone.
He actually, like, did it. Like, it's...
Yeah.
And also, I really want to talk about this. It's, I want to talk about the community response. Craig, me and you are on iFunny quite a bit, and did you see some post about Etika?
I'm pretty sure I did a while ago, yeah.
Yeah, I subscribe to a couple of dudes that really post about him, and I also saw a lot of people on iFunny, well, of course, this is just iFunny in general, talking about, just saying, for some reason, people think suicide, if you commit suicide, you're weak.
No,
and,
not.
like, if you commit suicide, you deserve no pity. You don't deserve, I'm sorry, not pity. That's terrible. Okay. That was you don't, that shit. You don't, like, you shouldn't be sad about it. But, like, it's so bad. Like, for instance, pizza time. It was a simple, it was an account just posted nothing but pizza time, like, every day for months, and it was really funny because it was a joke. And he posted one day, if you heard anything about me, it's true, and I'm going to see you later, Pizza Bros. And that was just one of his last posts. And
You're saying...
and there's some posts.
Oh, yeah, I just found his, thing.
Yeah,
Jesus. Oh my, yeah, dude, that was, oh my god.
You're talking about an account on iFunny?
Yeah, it was a pizza time. He basically killed himself.
He literally, there's literally, like, hundreds of the same clip of Peter Parker just going, "Pizza time." And then it's the very last post, October of last year. It's the very last post on his entire account. Him saying, "I am going to." And then that was it. That's all.
Damn. That really.
And okay, I love this dude. So iPhone is the dumbest thing ever. By the way, people say
It's really bad.
Yeah, it's like there's a thing called. Yeah, but there's like fucks, dude.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I haven't seen it anywhere else.
I need to re-download that.
All right.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, for the technical difficulties. There's a little jump there in conversation. But
Why is iPhone called hot memes and videos?
Yeah, friggin', and there's people in the comments being like, "Well, I got you. I would never kill myself," saying it's them, and their comments saying it's him. And it's like, dude, that's not like,
Yeah, there's all
that's not funny at all.
people on the internet are kind of fucked.
Dude, it's really fucked.
There's a lot of
There's
sociopaths.
one dude called
Zero
Weldon,
sympathy
and
for
he just-
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's this one dude called Weldon, and he literally says, "Why is everyone sad Cal? Why is everyone sad that Calvert died today? He was a pussy to kill himself," and about Etika. And it's like, well, people clearly don't get mental health problems. Like,
This is the reason they're doing it.
They don't get one. Some people have problems, like actual mental health problems, where they don't think, they can't fucking think straight.
Yeah. It's like a chemical imbalance in your brain. It's like a very real thing. It's not.
Yeah,
It's not like weakness, unless you want to say like being sick is a weakness. Like technically, I guess you're right, but you're like an asshole, basically. Like,
Yeah,
it's just really messed up.
it's very messed up.
And did you see about the? I don't want to draw too much attention to like the assholes on the internet, who are like
Yeah.
being very disrespectful. Obviously, we can just take a second to talk about how the most like community support I've ever seen happen after Etika passed, of like literally everyone from everywhere like came out of the woodworks to say this is really messed up, and rest in peace, Etika. Like, we need to spread awareness for this very real problem of mental health.
Yeah.
Like, it's at least when something like this happens, there is an overwhelming amount of community support, and everyone everywhere says like, hey, if you're going through a similar situation, you can talk to someone, and there's people everywhere who want to help you, who are there to help you, and who are qualified to help you. So what happened to Etika was really sad, but like it's important to help it happen a lot less. Like, to take this as an example, and to show people like, hey, if people are trying to help you, like, don't push them away, or
Of course, sometimes it's not. Oh, sometimes it's hard not to push people away.
That is
And
the
sometimes that's the problem. Like, of course, it's best to look for professionals and at least inform your family. If your family already knows, that's good, because then they'll push you even harder to keep you close. And no matter how hard you try to push them away, no matter how depressed, because if something's wrong, they'll probably be there.
Yeah.
Just stuff like this usually, like mental health issues, is never caused by a person being a bad person. It's an actual mental problem that requires some professional work and family help, and it's not hard to get over, because guess what? It can be an actual problem with your brain, and that you may be stuck with that your entire life, or you may not. Well,
silent the whole time.
Dude, current events are like sad right now, man. There's a lot of
Like, everything is just a lot of sad stuff. Here, let's talk about what we talk about the stupidest shit that's happening right now. The Area 51 raid.
dude. The studio.
No, that's actually okay. The Lion King is okay. I mean, it's not bad. Like, the CGI is actually good. No, I haven't, but I mean, at least it's like actually like decent. It's not just like cats out here. It's not like cats out here. It's a remake of the movie. That's literally all it is.
I heard it was a shoot for shoot made movie.
Those are kind of like, I don't know. I don't really know how I feel about those. Like, I don't hate them, but I mean, might as well just like watch the original, really.
Yeah, that's the thing I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
I'd rather just watch the original. And also, it seems like animation is dying almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look up the most recent animated movies.
I'm trying to. I can't think of like a recent big animated movie. Really.
Into the Spider-Verse. That's like the only one I can think of.
Yeah.
Well, there's Toy Story.
Yeah.
Toy Story was pretty good.
How to Train Your Dragon, the Grinch remake.
Oh yeah, How to Train Your Dragon 3 was actually really good. No cat. That series was actually like amazing.
Yeah. It was.
I've only seen the first one.
Okay, the missing things about like the Yeti trying to find his family, and where's the producers of this movie? Because they made all kinds of stuff. Because I think it's Annapurna. Is it Annapurna Pictures? I think because they also made They make some high quality animation. I think like they do different kinds. Let's see what they made. And they made some video. Here, I'll just look up the maker. I don't think that was actually
So,
makers.
well, do you guys want to talk about the Area 51 meme?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. Is the meme even going to be alive by the date that it's supposed to happen?
I mean, no. It's gonna happen. You don't understand. People are going to go.
Only 10 people that show. Like at this point, no.
There's going to be a lot more. Because a lot of people have already actually gotten plane tickets to go to Nevada before. Like, and it's actually kind of scary.
I wonder what's going to happen, dude. Like, either there's like a genocide of civilians, or
basically that's what I'm thinking. Since the government it's basically been like, it's already like 2 months before it's even supposed to happen. It's been announced. If they could just literally just clear everything out of the base, like pretty easily.
They won't have to because there's no way anyone's going to do that.
Yeah, no.
Technology in the 1970s that can wipe out that the A-10 Warhawk, which is kind of old by now, and is, I would say, outdated, has a minigun. It's literally built around a Vulcan minigun, I believe, which is made by GE, General Electronics, which makes all your chargers and everything. I find that funny. But they made it, and that can wipe out everyone in a building overnight.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like literally, the whole thing is just going to be they're just going to get burdened down by an A-10.
They're going to get arrested, and they're going to be like, okay, we're not going to do this. There's no way that's going to happen. So let's use non-lethal equipment, rubber bullets, paint pellets, or whatever. I don't know.
But I mean, it depends, because if the numbers that are there are actually going to show up, there is probably going to have to be some sort of lethal force. Because if the millions of people that say they're actually going are going to go, it's going to be completely insane, that amount of people
and the question is, like, let's say it's non-lethal force and they get taken down. Do they continue resisting? Do they continue pushing up against the walls and all that? If so, they're going to get shot. Then they're dead.
Well, I mean, think about it. Like, if they are committed enough to buy the plane ticket to go to Nevada to go there, it's not like they're going to get shot at and then be like, well, guess we're going home. Like, if you're actually going there, I guess like that's the point is to like they can't stop all of us is like that's the whole tagline of the meme.
Yeah, but they can. They most
They can stop all of you.
50 cal bullet can like actually 9 mil can bounce around your insides and kill you. And a 50 cal can like tear your shoulder apart.
Dude, 50 cals are literally anti-material rifles.
Yeah, if you hit
literally what it is.
And there's like several types. There's like incendiary 50 cals. There's all kinds of stuff. And we shot in succession and tear apart your shoulder if it grazes it.
No. If you get hit in the chest with a 50 cal, your entire chest is split open. Like you just have a giant hole in your chest. How much is just gonna tear you in half?
Imagine that happening a million times, dude.
Yeah.
And it will tear through you.
That's literally what happens.
The desert's literally gonna be like the sand will be fucking red.
Right.
My God.
It's literally gonna like
Red desert.
Tough desert.
I said the red desert.
Oh. Damn.
the lake.
The lake.
I'm looking at it. I'm not sure.
Well, this is how it happened. This is how the Batman dies.
It's actually insane.
This is gonna be like.
Okay, so I can't really see it because it's blurred, but it looks like this head has no skin.
What?
Oh shit.
And it
Can we
looks
pull
like
that?
the fingers are main.
Can we pull that up and
Oh
post?
yeah.
I'm joking.
Can we actually pull that up? I'm interested.
It's blurred out, so
Oh.
Send it to the Discord.
I will. I'm pulling it up. Okay. Shut up, Steve.
Oh my god, Jackson, stop sending me this meme.
What meme? Do you want to explain it?
No, I don't want to explain this meme.
What meme?
You know what meme it is.
Which meme? I don't know what you're talking about, dude.
You know what it is, the photoshopped one.
Wait, where are you sending it, Dakota?
It's a lot of Photoshop memes.
Yeah, what do you?
The one that Jackson made.
He makes a lot of memes, man.
Honestly, you should put it like in the not safe for work chat because this is not safe for work.
It's very
Yep.
safe for work.
Put it in the hentai channel.
Don't put it in that channel.
Put it in the hentai channel.
Don't put it in that channel.
Put it in the hentai channel.
That's the only NSFW channel we have, guys. It's like,
Make a different one. I think I'm banned from that chat.
Loki, why does our bot in the Discord only send furry shit?
Because you
it's Rule
added
34.
it.
I didn't hear it.
That's all there is anymore.
No, that's not true.
The only people drawing porn are furries. Okay, it's a fact.
Are you
It
drawing
is a
it, Chris?
fact.
Wait, I wonder. Rule 34, Area 51.
Please do not.
I'm
That
gonna.
sounds like a bad idea.
I'm
That
gonna
sounds
do
like a
it.
very bad idea. Don't do it, Chris.
I'm doing it. You can't stop me.
Give me a second.
No. He searched for it. Did they pop up?
But yeah, like a 50 cal should tear a man like apart.
Basically in half.
Wait, is this a video?
Okay.
No, there's videos, I believe.
Well, I'm about to find out what Area 51 Rule 34 is.
The
So.
bot sent a link.
I know. I clicked on it. So,
Why?
I want to know what it's gonna. What even?
There. It's blurred.
What is this?
Ooh.
Scared me.
It's blurred, but you can. I see bone.
What is this?
It's
Oh, that's somebody's hand. That's somebody's hand. No, I found the unblurred. I literally found the unblurred image of that.
It's a large hand.
No, I've literally found the unblurred image of that. I don't think you want to see it.
I don't want to see it.
No, it's
Send
no.
it.
It's not a large hand. It's because his hand is literally in pieces.
Oh,
Because I think that you see the part at the bottom left. I think that's a finger. I think
That is a finger. That is a
That's
finger.
a middle finger. Like
oh my God, dude, that's kind of disturbing.
It's very. I'm really looking. I'm looking at the unblurred image, and I gotta tell you, it's not pleasant.
You should
Alright.
send it.
No, don't. Do not send it.
I'm not gonna put that on my phone.
So because we can't really show this on YouTube, I'm just gonna describe what I'm looking at. Basically,
Not good.
this guy's hand has been shot.
It's completely gone.
It is like
No skin.
It's like it basically looks like tentacles that like went in every direction of just like
But way worse.
mangled
So, yeah.
all shit.
Yeah. So I saw there's a video of shooting a 50 cal into a ball finger hole. The finger hole gets way bigger. The bullet goes through the bowling ball, blows out the back. So basically, if you get shot in the head, your front of your head will disappear, and your back of the head, you won't even have, like, I'm pretty sure if you get shot dead in the forehead, you'd have a giant entry hole, and the back would just be gone. You would probably be missing stuff like a vertebrae in your neck. Not gonna lie.
Shit, dog.
So it's basically a shot to the brain and the spinal cord.
Yeah, I mean it's nothing to mess with, man.
Yeah, and it goes straight through. It blows out the back. If that was your skull, you wouldn't have a back of the head.
So on a less serious note, oh god.
Oh my god.
So, Chris, you want to explain that Area 51? What happened there?
I don't. Hint. Oh, okay. Is that Call Me Carson?
Yes, it's my dad.
Oh, epic. All
Is it
right.
really?
Oh my god.
Dude. Fucking idiot.
Call Me Carson is Jacob's dad, confirmed, dude.
Yeah,
Confirmed.
I can see it.
All right, so basically, all right, to lighten the mood a
Okay,
little
so
bit, who?
There's a picture from 2000. It says from 2004, but apparently a 50 cal deer hunting video, and the hole is about the size of my fist. That's the entry hole, I think.
Small fist.
Dude, be quiet. Okay, here, let's lighten the mood. Can we talk about the revival of Minecraft?
Oh yeah, we can.
Yeah, let's talk about that. And I also want to talk about Fortnite a bit too. Like,
Why?
Because people say, oh, it's dead, but also a lot of people are saying, well, you can also just compare it to what Minecraft would.
Maybe.
So let's objectively look at the game.
Everyone wants Minecraft.
Yeah, but the thing is, Minecraft was always a good game. The modern community was large. Even if you got bored of the game, you could download a mod and have hundreds of more fun hours.
No, see, that's the thing. They're basically one and the same at this point, because the reason people stopped playing Minecraft is because the community had a reputation for just being a bunch of little kids, for being a little kiddie game, and that's exactly what happened to Fortnite. It's literally the community just has been just renowned as just being a little kid game, or just sweaty 34-year-olds.
And you know,
Which is fact.
you know why nobody cares about the Minecraft kitty community anymore?
Because Minecraft's awesome.
Because we're all
Yeah, because we're
right?
all fucking teenagers now, and
Yeah, everybody who was that back then is now like 15, 16, like everybody's just gone, and we've realized the error of our ways.
pretty much, dude.
We we actually have brain function now, so we know what actually happens. And basically, that's what happened. Basically the second half of our generation. Aren't we in the middle of two generations here, basically?
Okay, J. Cole.
We are.
Well, here's the thing.
Because we're not millennials, and we're not technically Gen Z.
Yeah, 2003
Yep.
and 2002, and I think around 2004.
Early 2004.
Because
That's the next generation.
There's totally some 2003 kids that are absolutely retarded. And
Like me.
I'm right here, man. Come on, you can't
and
see my face.
have no brain cells. And there's some 2004 kids who have no brain cells. And definitely 2005, 6, and other such. And yeah. And such. And I will see them, and I'm like, oh my god, they're acting like children. I think it's like, yeah, it's in 2006, let's see. I'll be a freshman, so 4 years, actually 2008-ish. Yeah, younger than my sister. They're in preschool. I know some kids like that from Scout.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
So like the freshman in high school.
No, dude. What was that? We were at soccer practice one time. We had to practice with some of the middle schoolers because they just show up to some of our practices sometime at soccer. And then literally one of our players, I don't even remember what he said, but he said something like super childish. And like half of the middle school, like something like poop. And then half of the middle school team started laughing. And it was like, what is happening?
It's poop time.
And it was literally, it was so confused. Like,
Epic story.
bro, I don't recall the exact events, but you could it's like, humor is going downhill very fast.
Well,
Just Chris saying this subjective.
basically, like, when you're young, you find a lot more things funny, which is why I hang out with so many freshmen, because they laugh at all of my garbage jokes. I mean, it's a fact.
Dude.
Like,
Wait, Chris has friends outside of us?
no.
That's what I thought.
And,
He just hangs around freshmen and
I have-
occasionally pops jokes.
yeah, I mean, well,
Except that's not how it's gonna be. These new freshmen, oh my god, it's gonna be terrible.
dude, that's how we were, though.
That is how we were.
It is.
No, this is way
We're
worse.
also
No.
the ones that started fight week in our school. For those of you
At
that don't
middle
know,
school.
Oh,
at
yeah.
our middle school, there was a week of straight fighting, not for any reason, just to fight. And like
Ooh, like
40, I'm pretty sure like 40 to 50% of the teachers left the school because of it.
What
Yeah.
year was this?
Like
The year, our
last
freshman
year.
year, like
As
like
soon as we left,
sophomore.
I don't know anyone. Any teachers that
When-
left.
So basically, no. This last group of freshmen is, I feel like it's the last one with actual like brain cells.
I mean, I don't even think they had
A
themselves.
good few of them were actually pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, they were pretty chill.
Not gonna lie,
But
dude.
then, not gonna lie,
Not gonna lie, dude.
not gonna lie, dude. Okay, no cap, bro.
We need to start a segment on the podcast called "Not Gonna Lie Hour," or what? I don't know,
I'm not
something
gonna
like that.
lie.
oh my
Just hot takes.
I'm not gonna lie, but I definitely think traps are hot.
So
Oh yeah,
let's see what our local neighborhood YouTube retard is doing on Jake Paul. And apparently, I think he's marrying Tana Montague or whatever
yeah.
her last name is.
Let's not talk
Oh.
about Jake Paul and Tana Montague, guys. Come on.
Yeah,
we
let's not go there.
We have better
Can we
things
just
to
not?
talk about, dude. We should have stopped talking about Jake Paul in 2017. Why the fuck is he still, like, always a current event?
Why is he still
Because
alive?
I want him to be arrested.
I don't
I've never seen any of his
He's
videos.
done so many bad things, and to be honest, I totally think he's influencing the youth in a bad way.
Well,
And
okay.
also, I can lead this to my next one, but since you want to get off it, I think parents should beat their fucking kids.
Wait, what?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm tired of the little shits running around crotch goblins, as Tumblr says it. Fuck Tumblr. I don't want to see your fucking children run around acting like they're fucking 6 when you're 12. I'm gonna smack your kids for you. Because you need to fucking step in this shape and smack your kids.
Speaking of Tumblr, can we just talk about how stupid people on Tumblr are with their "I'm screaming" and all that? I guys really hate that.
God. You
Brother.
know why is Tumblr stupid? Because I'm pretty sure. Let's see. It was about 10 years. No, it was 14 years ago.
I'm playing Pac-Man.
14 years ago. Oh my god, I hate
Why is it so loud, dude? Stop it, dude.
I'm
That-
playing Pac-Man.
That probably sounded horrible on the mic. Because it sounded horrible for me.
I put it back.
Bruh,
I just have a tiny little Pac-Man machine, okay? I like playing Pac-Man.
can you turn it
Okay,
down?
so-
Or is that not possible?
If I remember correctly, 14 years ago, 4chan and Tumblr had a war, and 4chan won.
What is
Because
4chan?
What's
4chan?
You don't know what 4chan is? Have you ever even been on the internet?
No.
It's the original meme site.
Pepe, fucking Rickroll, every meme.
Anonymous.
All the memes before, like, 2010, pretty much, came from 4chan.
Yeah, that's around there. Yeah. I like how we say that. I like how we say this shit like we remember it, but we literally like know
We were like literally.
Because like most of the shit that was made in 2004
It was like
and
7.
stuff.
Yeah.
We were so young.
We were. For real, like
Anonymous was made in 2003.
our generation is like the king of literally acting like we're cool and older than all the other kids around us. Like,
You're right, nerds.
Well, I mean, it's because we still experience the same things, but we weren't there when it started. But I mean, like, it still happened to us. Like,
yeah, because I think what happened is like the 90 kids were like, oh, look at all the stuff we had, and we were like, bitch, we had the same thing.
Like it basically reran. The 90s reran into the early 2000s.
For real. I think it's we don't want to be the fucking like.
I don't want to be that. I mean, because we don't want to associate with the like 2005 and on. We don't really want to associate with what's happening then.
Yeah.
Because that's really
So we act like we were around for like fucking like
a millennium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, 90s kids only. Dude.
What's your guys' opinions on Anonymous?
Yeah.
Dude, they haven't done anything in like forever.
And here's where I hate them so much. Because I had PJ?
Mm-hmm.
So for those of you who don't know, PJ was basically a local idiot know-it-all who doesn't know it all, and he basically said, oh, Anonymous is a legitimate group. I'm like, yeah, it is. But it was made from 4chan in 2003 from 2 dudes as a joke.
Yeah.
Everything on 4chan is a joke, and people took it seriously, and they're hacking and all this. I'm like, ooh, this. And I'm like, I hate the videos they post, like, ooh, the world is rotting away and all this. I'm like, so let me tell you something. Anonymous thinks they're better than the government, yet they're hacking into the government, which is secret, which is private property. Therefore, they are breaking laws, hacking into the news channels to change public opinions and literally hinder people's opinions. So you're telling me that Anonymous is a group of hackers who think they know it all, but actually don't?
Caleb's anonymous.
Whoa.
PJ is a freaking Anonymous member. Confirm.
Yo, can we talk about how fucked we are?
Yes.
Yeah.
For which reason?
Like, the Earth.
Oh yeah.
How
No, it's
fucked
lame.
we are.
That's lame.
We love the Earth.
Oh my god, it's an awful song.
And
Here's our planet.
we just got this entire like 50-minute podcast copyright claim because we sang it shittily.
No, we said we love the Earth, and I don't think that can be copyrighted because I love the Earth, and we're kind of we fucked it. Like, it's over. We're done.
Yeah.
Time to go fuck Mars.
Do you think we're done, or like the next generation is done?
The next generation will be.
Well, we're definitely gonna pass. We're definitely. It might be. We're definitely gonna. Most of the.
Did my dude just leave the chat as he was in the middle of talking?
I think he misclicked the button.
Alright, so dude, we definitely. Boop. Alright, we'll wait for him to get back. But in the
He
meantime,
lagged out.
Yo, what?
oh, is he back?
But
Foreskin didn't answer.
I think that if our generation doesn't
Like remember for the.
I think if our generation doesn't invest in more power smart options and try to beat the like gas companies, like nuclear power, which is super efficient, and And a lot of people are saying it isn't clean. I'm like, well, yeah, that's because of Chernobyl.
I don't know what just happened. So, what was I saying again?
You're talking about the Earth and how fucked it is.
Oh yeah, we were talking about like how. So most of our generation is most likely going to reproduce before the Earth is fucked. I don't know, but like maybe like our late life, if most of us get there, it might be that at that point where we're basically screwed.
But who cares? We'll be gone by then. So.
Yeah, but it's really up to us right now, and it's.
It really is, and it's a lot of there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
There's pressure. There's definite pressure that we have to deal with because fucking baby boomers just couldn't stop fucking for 3 minutes.
They couldn't stop drinking their Coca-Colas and eating their McDonald's with the plastic bit on the.
Yo, can we just stop with the plastic? It's not the straws is the problem. They got a cup that's made of like. No. I'm gonna elaborate on stuff like that because just like they're getting rid of plastic straws. Like that's the problem, not the plastic lids on the cups or the cups themselves or the overzealous use.
Stop blaming America so much. Oh my God,
it is not us.
Have you not seen China? They are really. My God,
dude, that's crazy water
China is
pollution.
bad.
That's where like all the water pollution is coming from.
They shit in the streets.
Dude.
What?
They do. They like certain places of the city are so run down and like so shitty. They just shit in the streets.
Yo, guys, what about Tiananmen Square Part 2? That's happening right now in Hong Kong.
Oh, what?
What?
What's happening?
Yeah, in Hong Kong, there's a bunch of protesters and stuff going on with the Chinese government. I don't know the exact details.
Pretty sure they're gonna get shot down.
And I made the joke. It's Tiananmen Square Part 2.
Oh.
Damn.
That's what it's gonna end up being. I mean, I'm just saying.
What is Teen in the Park?
Tiananmen. Not Tiananmen. I don't even know how to pronounce it.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
That's TMNT.
I don't know what Tiananmen is.
Tiananmen Square.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, so basically in like 1989, there was these bunch of protesters there. You know that one image of the guy holding his trash bags T-posing at tanks?
I think so.
Tanks? Yeah, that's where that's from. And it was basically a huge massacre where the Chinese government just basically killed a bunch of people. And this is where this is where the Chinese government starts spying on us because we're talking about things. So,
if we were in China.
If we were in China, but there's no more Chinese. Oh Jesus, yep, it's gonna happen again. Literally, less than like 8 hours ago, China says some Hong Kong protesters' behavior is intolerable, and there's fears that the military will step in.
Yeah.
The last thing.
China's sending troops to stand up.
This is the last thing China needs.
Apparently, this is what are the protests in Hong Kong about? The basic law constitution guarantees to protect. For the next 50 years, the democratic institutions that Hong Kong is distinct from communist ruled mainland China. The bill resembles laws used to charge dissidents on the mainland. An estimated 500,000 people turn out to protest against the bill.
Damn, dude.
Yo, guys, I just say be ready in the next few days for there to be another Tiananmen. I don't know how to pronounce. I really want to learn how to pronounce that.
Key and Peele.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
Tiananmen.
Key and Peele sketch gone wrong.
Tiananmen Square. Tiananmen Square. I think we'll go with that. Yeah.
I honestly wonder, it's so bad over there. People are they're wearing gas masks to work because, some people say, oh, I'm going to protest and show that we're polluting the environment by wearing gas masks to work. I've heard that from, my 8th grade teacher, whatever his name was.
Tiananmen. There you go. It's Tiananmen.
Oh, my 8th grade, teacher wore, a gas mask to work and rode on bikes because they were the pollution and they were getting pulled over and all that. But they don't understand. People in China have to wear masks like that.
Yeah, no, they have to.
Die.
like no, like in Japan and China, there's pollution and smog that's so bad that they literally have to wear face masks so they don't literally like die of the toxins in the air.
It's not.
Thanks for spiriting away.
Japan. It's just because everyone in Japan is weird.
Well, that's.
Thanks for Kanye.
Like, I would try to look at it. Why does Japanese people wear face masks? But it's because they're weird.
Okay.
All
Well,
right.
yeah, but in China it makes sense.
Yeah, because it is.
Chris, is that you moaning over there?
No.
People wear it. Of course, it's also that, but it's also sickness and all that. It's because they're weird. I'm not gonna deny any of the fact that it may also be pollution because remember they're right next to China and Russia. Two massive empires that are just.
Russia has a lot of empty space though. There's a lot of nothing in Russia.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of nothing out there.
Guys,
The country's so big. What?
Alright, so here's my question. If there was one place that you could go, where would you go? Just for a vacation.
That's literally the stupidest question ever. Let's get back to the topic.
What? How's that question?
Yeah.
Because we're in the middle of a topic and that's literally like it's so bad.
That's like
Don't get me wrong.
That's a question that.
We should.
Sorry, my bad.
Oh,
That's like an icebreaker question that you do at the beginning of an AA meeting.
This is an AA meeting.
In my opinion, we should totally focus on being good with the environment because one, we kind of rely on it. There's species dying and all that. We should totally focus on that. Especially, don't get me wrong, we dump stuff into the ocean all the time. Do I think we should fix that? Yes. But it's not. We should also focus. Like once we fix ourselves, then we're good. But the thing is, we can't really fix China until they destroy themselves again, like the biggest time in history, or we end up saying, screw it, we're done with you, you gotta do something about this. And they say no, bickering back and forth, eventually war, we wipe out China, and
that escalated.
Well, listen, I just think war with China is a big possibility. I'm not saying I want to go to war with China. They have tons of people, and I know it's going to be big.
Yeah.
Except either China's, but I think China's probably going to kill themselves. The pollution, the mass amount of communist government or whatever they're aiming for. It's like Locker, or I already said his name, but my global studies teacher said, "Oh, no country has been a communist." I'm like, yeah, but this is what they're doing.
No, he said no country's been like truly communist, but they've tried.
They're talking about. He was talking about Marxism. No country has done exactly what Karl Marx.
No, nobody will ever be able to pull off Marxism.
Because it's an idea. Don't get me wrong. It sounds like an amazing idea, but of course, there's a difference between paper and execution.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Easier said than done, and it's like, I get it. That way everyone can live. But listen, it's straight up said, like in every kind of book, if you want a utopia, you have to remove the things like that make us human. Like color, opinion, and it's like when you really look at it, it's not a utopia, but a dystopia.
Yeah. There's a lot of problems in life that don't have a simple answer, and people try to look for the simple answers, even though like those are not good, basically, because it's just oversimplifications of like massive issues that are just like they're really too hard to deal with, and there isn't really like a perfect way to deal with them. So like, I don't know. That is kind of like a nihilistic way to look at it. Like all the problems that we have cannot be solved at all. Like there's always going to be an issue. But I mean that is kind of how it is.
Well, here's the thing. after looking at it, I totally believe humans live off of conflict. Read any book, like straight up we're taught, any book, any story, there is a conflict.
Yeah.
That is what makes them. What makes things interesting, and it's why we have MMA, boxing, all this as a nationwide sport that people are paid to watch. It's competition. People live off it, and to be honest, and because of that, you could call us animals and all that. Even, but we're going to fight each other for the dumbest crap. People complain about land. We took land from the Indians. Well, it's like, it's what happens. It's literally what happens. People talk about slavery being a problem and all this. I'm like, yeah, it's a problem. But, like, literally, you can't just look at just slavery as like, oh, the blacks were enslaved or these people were enslaved. It's like, you gotta realize, this shit happens everywhere. War, everyone has experienced war. If you look at it, every race, like every race has experienced slavery. Romans, if you lost a war and you were still alive, you were enslaved. And guess what? Romans had a bunch of white and black people. The Jews were enslaved. I'm pretty sure there's all kinds of problems. It's like, we live off of conflict. And do I think it will always be here? Yeah, sadly. Because without a conflict, life is pretty boring.
Yeah. Well, this has got a lot deeper than I expected the podcast.
Yeah, we went in.
We really did.
We really did.
I think that may be a good thing, because then our readers can engage us.
Yeah.
Our listeners can engage us and be like, well, he's a retard. I'm like, and to be honest, you have perfect right. You have every reason to call me a retard.
Skeletons.
Do not take my advice. This is why the podcast is called
Is that okay to say it on
Uneducated.
podcast?
1 hour in, it doesn't matter.
It's alright, don't worry about
I feel like Caden said like 3 sentences this entire time, and that's it.
Is that okay?
I didn't know what to say.
It's like, oh
Everyone's
shit,
political.
they're talking about racism and slavery and stuff. I'm out.
What?
Dude.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You guys should just we're not gonna talk about
Let's
that much.
not. We should probably avoid that from now on.
You know, I got a little scared when you said the words. People say slavery is a bad thing. Like, I was like, where is this going,
Oh
dude?
shoot! I did say that. Okay. Yes, it is a bad thing. People are being enslaved today. I do not support it. I totally don't have an African child under my bed.
Whose camera is
That's
on?
cool.
Is it Jacob?
Dude,
Jacob, what are you doing?
I'm having a fun time.
Can we get close up on Jacob there?
Okay, I'm on YouTube.
Hey,
And it just reminded me of cars. Have you
Cars? I like cars.
Okay, here's a good topic. Have you seen that? What was that new company that made the super fancy car that was like
Cars 3 by Disney.
super? I'm just Google super fancy car, and I'm gonna see what comes up. And
Jacob, what are you doing?
And basically, like the wheels like looked alive or whatever. Like when you would turn, the car would like bend with it, and it's super weird.
That's pretty weird, dog.
It was like LEDs were in the car, and it looked, to be honest, it looked like crap.
What are you watching?
I don't know. I can't find it.
Watch this PlayStation.
I wasn't paying attention since it was like, why do you need these? There's means, like, go get a Ferrari if you have that much money. Because like $20 a Ferrari has a better engine.
Who's trying to watch Ford versus Ferrari when it comes out?
Dude.
I have no
guys, look. Now you're cool. Ready? Boom. Shades on. Let's go.
Did you put sunglasses on your phone?
I just put sunglasses on my phone. Yes.
Alright,
What
well,
about regular glasses like this?
Nah, bro. Look, ready? These shit's on. We're ready to fucking party.
that's crazy. Well,
Party in the USA.
I hate to cut the party short, guys, but
Don't cut it short.
I'm sorry, dude. Listen,
We're having a fun time.
There's a lot of content.
I know we have to make more episodes because honestly, not a lot of people are watching our podcast. They're like, too long. So
Yeah.
when they see
Oh
like,
shit! I don't think that's why they're not
you
watching.
yeah, I don't think that's why they're not.
I don't think that's why.
you know what? All right.
Next time we should actually have a structure and come up with relevant content.
I think I'm about to have, because this time, like, we had the idea of, like, hey, they should just gauge us and see how they like us. And I went on a tangent about racism. That's not good.
Dude.
I went on a tangent about Chinese people being murdered again.
Heck
We-
yeah.
We need to set rules, all right? No talking about race.
Yeah.
We have talked about
Political.
race every podcast. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure we've mentioned something about race in every podcast that we've done.
Okay, well, I was talking about a massacre, so that's cool.
I think we should just avoid politics from now on.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, that's kind of hard to do.
I
It's
know.
kind of hard to do because that's all the drama there is.
Yeah, but
I'm
like,
just saying we should avoid hard topics like racism.
yeah,
Like,
like,
I'm saying, like,
Yeah, no, like bringing up
deep into the racism.
bringing up like relevant news, like that Hong Kong
Yeah.
thing is.
That's-
I think that's pretty good.
That's good. Yeah, I like that. Or like the man spreading stuff or whatever. That's good.
We definitely should have talked about that. That would have been a good one.
I don't
You
want
guys
to.
want to mansplain? You guys want to mansplain stuff?
I don't want to mansplain anything, guys, man.
I don't think, Chris, did you turn it on? Are we still going?
No, we're still going. I haven't done the outro yet.
Alright, so I think we should do that for the next episode.
Yeah,
structure.
we could
Then
do like we'll schedule
think-
after.
Yeah, then I think we can get a third schedule up with a guest, with our certain someone of our world record holder.
Oh yeah, we have a world record holder who's coming on the show. Our first ever guest. This is our. All right, if I can just break character for a second. When I said at the
No
beginning,
characters.
when I said at the beginning, this is the first podcast I've ever done. Obviously, I was referring to the Pleasure Project on my channel, but
Oh,
this podcast is here to revive the generic material channel. It's a little podcast called the Uneducated Guess.
I made
We
the.
make
I
we
made the
say
thumbnail.
stupid stuff. Do not take any of the stuff like we're geniuses because we're not.
Okay,
We're
so
sitting
we're
here on the
talking.
computer.
We're
Hold on.
talking about. We're all talking about super serious stuff, but everything we say is our opinion and what we take on the topic. Please, I mean, it's the 4 people that are watching this.
Which
I'm
is
not
us.
a retard, I swear.
And understand we say we fuck up, so we will say stupid shit that we don't mean.
And that's why it's
English is
called.
hard sometimes.
And that's why it's called the Uneducated Guess. You know, I mean, because
I made the thumbnail.
I know you did. You're gonna have to change it. 'cause
Send it.
I forgot to tell you.
I just changed it.
Oh,
Where is it? Send it. I need to see it. I want to see it. I want to
Okay.
approve.
Oh God, my ears.
you sent it to
Let
me.
me approve. You sent it in me as well?
You sent it to me.
Oh, send it to me now. I need to approve.
You have to change.
Oh, like,
YouTube.
You have to change it from the Pleasure Project to the Uneducated Guess. I'm dumb.
Wait,
I
what?
don't like your font.
Yo, send it to me. I want to see it.
I don't like your font. Can I make thumbnails from now on?
What? No.
Jacob's the
Can
thumbnail
I
guy.
steal
I
his
think we should
job?
all. Oh wait, but okay. I feel like we should. I think we should always. We should always have a question. Like something.
Maybe I
We should
should.
have a
Let me do the outro before we actually talk about what we're gonna do with the show.
planning.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's Ethan.
All right,
Someone hasn't seen that episode.
all right, everybody. This has been
History.
this has been the very first episode of the Uneducated Guess, starring 4 white boys. We're just
What?
we're just out here trying to be white.
We should probably get a black person on the show.
We should get a black person on the show. All right, we need to end this. Sorry, guys.
I know a black person we can get on the show.
Who?
Good.
Me.